Hey, golfers, some golf seasons are wrapping up and the holiday season is right around the corner. You know what that means? You guessed it. Awkward holiday work parties. Avoid the terrible Yankee swap gifts. Bring a pack of true classic polos. Show up late so you get the last pick and you can take your own gift home, just like I do every single year. You get some of the softest polos on the market. Your coworkers think you are a team player, and you can save 25% off plus free shipping using the promo code OTS Golf at trueclassictees.com. Win, win, win. Stay vigilant at those holiday work parties, my friends. Enjoy the episode.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2. 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par 5, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, it drew, shoot and make Gavin.
You get talking to custom clubs, didn't you? And that's how you got that shadow ban. That's
Yeah.
how I got it too. Thanks, Chris.
You'll
I
get
don't think
you.
I've ever talked to them.
No, he's sweet. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy, and he got a shadow ban one time. We were talking to him, and he was in insta jail, and he was doing something, and I was like, no way, man. I don't believe it, or like I don't know. I was like, I don't believe this is a thing, and I like reshared one of his posts. Nothing happened. I like reshared a reel. Next day, we were in the tank. It's tough. Tough spot to be, man. You're just like, you don't know if you're getting out. You don't know what Instagram's gonna do.
So a little
yeah.
bit different this week. This is just me. There's no Derek. He didn't invite me to Vegas. So I got 2 new friends. We have Bryce and Mac from Off on the Screws.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been a day, man. It's
Yeah.
so
See you, Derek. You're out of here,
yeah,
pal.
like
We're in. This is
first
just
he doesn't invite me.
Yeah.
So yeah, first he doesn't invite me, and then my job's like, hey, we're not open Mondays, but you're gonna work Monday, and I was like, no, I'm not, and they're like, yes, you are. So like I said, I work all day. Now I'm here. It's been a day, but I'm ready to talk golf and whatever else we talk about. I have pretty bad ADD. If you guys have never listened, so we're all
too.
over the place.
I've
Yeah,
listened,
that's
man.
kind of how we run it usually. We don't really have any structure, so we'll let her fly.
We do have structure. I've listened with those. I know Alvin's listening right now, so I hijacked his podcast a couple weeks ago. So this is fully what I was intending on doing this week too. So now this one's a little bit different for us too. It's kind of cool to get on talk with another pod. It's fun, man. People kind of know all the work that goes in. Like Bryce puts hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
in
let me
pods.
rephrase that. Sorry, Mac has structure. Bryce doesn't, but
That's how it is here. Derek's the one with the structure. I bring the chaotic energy and just kind of hope people laugh at it. So yeah, Derek's not here this week. He's here in my spirit, as in he has not replied to any of my messages all day.
Vegas is my spot, man. I can't blame the guy. Like I love Vegas. Like
I've never been to Vegas. That's why I'm upset. He's always like, dude, we got to go to Vegas. We're going to go to Vegas. And then whenever he goes, it's like, yeah, no, you're not coming. I was like, thanks. He is here in spirit. I have my little SavePar hoodie on that is not available, so nobody can ask to buy it. But I got 2 of them.
I got one on. Bryce got one on too. Oh, we got the same one on. So yeah,
we do the same one.
If
I was looking
wants
for
to
my
pick
hat,
these up,
but I don't know where my hat is. But
OTSGolf.com.
I got my Manitou Passage.
You can use code
hat on.
SavePar for 0% off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you
There we
can
go.
come over and I have no idea how merch works. I lose like $5 every time we sell a sweater. I have no idea what I'm doing, man. So if anybody
We're
has-
actually we haven't really talked about it, but we have designs ready for ours. Just kind of we're looking for blanks and everything, and we also have one kind of in the works with Odin, and we're doing a polo and hat combo for our tournament in May.
Yeah, we had those guys on there.
We had Odin on.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're like there were so many different things, and they're in Germany, right?
Yeah. Well, the one guy was.
Yeah. Well, I guess they kind of like he's bounced around a little bit too. They still got one guy in the States, I think, and then but it's kind of cool to like learn the different rules. Like you have to have like a handicap to be able to play, and
yeah, that was wicked to hear for sure.
That was kind of neat, and you gotta be able to like move it a little bit. You gotta be a decent player too to be able to play. So it's kind of a weird structure, but I don't know, it's cool. It's cool anyway.
Yeah,
right? But
I think I talk to Jordan almost every day. They're a big sponsor for us. We have our own golf balls with them, and that's super cool. They've been nothing but great to us. I have nothing bad to say about them, other than like they're in Germany, so like the time difference is kind of annoying at times. But we're actually in a big on Instagram, big like food group. So it's called the Grub City. So it's us, Odin, Tacos at the Turn, the Sucker Pin guys, and then Los Calferos. And all we do is we just share pictures of food and like hot sauce and stuff like that. So Odin's a blast, man. I love that
Yeah.
those guys. So we have stuff in the works with them too, but it should be really fun.
I need to I was just eating yogurt. I probably like if I was mowing the spoon here anyway, but that's what I was saying, Bryce. Like I pretty much lost all that weight eating yogurt for like months,
Yeah.
just Greek yogurt. Man.
Yogurt's so good though,
Yeah.
honestly.
Throw
I
a
love
little
I'm a big
honey
yogurt.
in there,
I'm a
and
big
then
yogurt guy. I just had
keeps
breakfast for dinner tonight. That's a veteran move right there.
yeah,
I don't
keeps
know.
you
There you
going
go.
through. Keeps you going like through the round. If we want to relate it to any golf stuff, like some Greek yogurt, will keep you going. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's nice, man. It's better than like I don't know, you eat a hot dog and then like you're
Yeah,
just
put some
hungry.
granola in there too.
Yeah, that
some
was
fresh
it.
fruit. Oof.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So anybody has any ideas to add to Greek yogurt? I would love to hear them because I'm not over it yet. I've been eating it for like 8 months straight, but I'm not over it yet. It'll get to a point where I'm just done with it. But yeah, I don't know how we
Yeah.
got talking about yogurt, but that page sounds great. I feel like if you're sharing like taco pictures, I went to this.
I'm a big
spot.
food guy.
Yeah,
I'm a
I went to
big
this like
food
nice
guy.
spot in Toronto. It was called something Falam or Balam or something like that. And it was amazing, man. It was so good. Like those are the best tacos I ever had. They're like deep fried tacos.
Mhm.
So good. Fonda Balam, is that it? I don't know, man. It's a long time ago, but yeah. Yeah, so if you're in Toronto, there's some good spots definitely. What's
Never
what's your
been
what's your favorite food, Dom? What are you posting in there? Tacos?
So I used to say my favorite food was tacos, and as I've gotten older, I've slowly realized that my favorite food is actually potatoes.
Ooh.
Because like
Wait.
potatoes are elite, right? Like mashed potatoes,
There's
potato
so
pancakes,
many forms.
French fries, right?
Mhm.
Like it's endless. And like I've had some people tell me like their favorite food is butter, and I was like, that's genius too. Because like you put butter
Yeah.
on everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean I love potatoes, tacos. Uh, I'm not super picky. I know Derek's a little bit pickier than I am. Um, really just like I don't like raw onions and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'll eat really anything.
I'm a pizza guy through and through. Give me one food, rest of my life. Give me pizza, I'm good.
Like
Happy.
deep dish, like or it doesn't matter.
Anything,
Just
just any sort of pizza. I'm happy. You can even give me gluten free if you want. I'm happy.
you ever had
I like those the brick fired pizzas. I think those are
Oh
the best.
yeah.
yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
very very underrated food. You
You
ever
guys
had
have like mod pizza or blaze pizza in Minnesota?
We do. They're in Minneapolis. I like I blank on the name every time, even though I work right by it. Uh, I can't think of it, but I got really drunk in a Pizza Luce and threw up in their bathroom, so I haven't had
Nice.
pizza for a while.
Is that the LeBron one? Blaze? Or
I don't know.
Shaq's?
I don't know. They have it at home now in some places, but it's essentially people don't know. It's essentially Subway for pizza.
Yeah.
Like you
I
literally
had
you
it
get your
near you.
dough, and then yeah, they have it in your, and then you go through and just put all as many toppings as you want on it, and they put it in a brick oven, and it's done in 15 minutes, and you're good to go. They're awesome.
Speaking of Greek yogurt, I had pizza for the first time with lactose cheese. I'm getting a little older, right? So anybody checking this out on YouTube, I don't you guys put this on YouTube, Don?
We do.
I get a lot of weight here, so I'm getting a little older, right? So got some lactose free cheese on there and it was disgusting. So just suffer
Yeah.
through. It's worth the pain and the smell. It's sorry, pardon that, but don't do it. It's just like it seems like a good idea to be like, oh yeah, I'll just like you can take lactose pills, activated charcoal, that kind of stuff. It's much better than yeah,
Eating the cheese. Right?
don't have lactose free cheese on pizza. It was like I don't know how to explain it, but it was like yeah, it's kind of like putting like cottage cheese on warm pizza. It was
Yeah.
really gross. Really gross.
Yeah, the only thing that really like screws me up is like the hot sauce from Chipotle, like the really hot one. That one goes right through me and just like wreaks havoc. Excuse me. But like I love Taco Bell. That does nothing to me. Like eat
I
it, no issue.
love
Wake up.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I can't
Love
eat
it.
Taco Bell. Shout out to Chef.
Yeah, but Taco Bell's so much different at home, man. It's so much worse than it is here, man. It's a whole new
Yeah.
ball game over here. Whole new ball game.
Well, Bryce, you ever met Chef, my buddy Chef? We ever played with
Yeah.
him? Yeah, so like he oh yeah, we played Copetown with him.
Yeah.
So he's like a fine dining chef. He's like one of the best chefs in the area here. Very
Like
very good chef.
gourmet, like
Yeah.
top
And
5 star.
his favorite food's Taco Bell. He goes Taco Bell all the time. What the?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I guess if you're a mechanic, you don't want to work in a car, right? So you just, I don't know, take the bus. I don't know where I was going with that one, but you
Yeah.
don't like you don't
I
want
mean,
to
I
work.
got where you were going,
Yeah.
but
So,
sorry.
but
The
yeah, eating
the
Taco Bell
beautiful
and
part of that, the beautiful part of that is my buddy's a mechanic, and he gets mad whenever I watch YouTube videos and then go work on my car. Because he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'll just do it. Like, I'll show you how to do it." As I'm in the garage cutting off my valve stem covers with a Dremel, and he goes, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Watch me." So I did it. As again, we were in his driveway with my passenger wheel off, all the fender stuff off, and I'm like, "Oh, there's the belt." So no, I totally get where you're going with that.
I just feel like I don't know. I like I did my apprenticeship young. I like got into automotive stuff like that. It's just I got burnt out. I was so burnt out. So I don't know. Everybody always wants you to do stuff for free. So it's like one of those things, man. I
Yeah.
just like if you're a golf pro, people want you to be teach them golf lessons and stuff, but for free, right? So
Mhm.
so thanks, Paul Park. Start charging people because he's a really nice guy from G Pod. So if you haven't checked out G Pod, he's pretty cool, man. So reel us back
I
in here,
follow
Dom.
him.
I don't know. G Pod is like the coolest thing ever. You just stick your phone to a thing that's plugged into the ground and you can take a video. It's awesome.
Yeah, I followed him.
Yeah, he's a really good dude.
It's
Really
super
good.
interesting. It's such a dumb product, but it's such a dumb product that you could use anywhere and have any kind of application for.
Yeah, I don't know if dumb's. I think it's just like so simple, like which like
That might be what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, I wasn't bashing the way you said that. I'm just saying like it's so simple, it's dumb. Like it's so simple, like that no one thought of this sooner,
Yeah, it's
kind of
two,
thing.
like
You know?
literally two pieces, and you don't even
And a
need like
magnet, yeah.
you don't even need like anything else like for your phone. Like if you have a newer phone, like a 13 or 14 or whatever, it'll just stick right to it. You don't have to
Well,
like you don't
not
have to
even
stick
that.
anything.
Most people have the car things, like the car mounts anyway. Like I have one on my
Yeah.
phone anyway. It's a
I
car
just
mount.
mean
So
like
it
for any
works.
newer models, you don't need that,
Yeah,
which is like an
yeah,
extra little feature,
that is
right?
cool.
So it's really cool. And it's just a spike that goes in the ground. I know they got other
Mhm.
things, and it's like thin, right? It's like thinner than a golf shaft.
Fits in
and
your
it's like
bag so
yeah,
nice.
it's so good, so good. So yeah, shout out to Paul Park. But reel us back in here, Dom. I don't know how we got talking about your Instagram page with the food
Yeah,
and stuff. So
food.
yeah, I'm
Oh,
hungry.
it's a group chat, so you have to be like invited. That's the beauty of it. It's like super exclusive.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, don't put me in there. Yeah, I'll just
You and all your yogurt.
I
Yeah.
man, I cook a lot. Like I actually pretty good cook. I think I make some pretty good food, but I would be I don't know, just probably would be like weird. I'm like I probably eat too clean for that, I think. I got to
Oh
start.
yeah, Derek will put in pictures of like his salad.
That's weird. Like I wouldn't put
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
salad photos.
no,
But I know
sorry.
I know I definitely eat too clean for that. Like definitely, but yeah, so I don't know. Like, how do you want to kind of start us off here? We're probably 10 minutes into this thing, and all we've talked about is a Instagram
Food.
group chat and food. And yeah, it's cool, man.
I mean,
And
that's the
golf
beauty
ball.
of a podcast, right? Like, it can go
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's true.
Um,
So if you're getting something at the turn, like what's your go-to? If you can have anything at the turn, what's your go-to? I want to ask you this too, Bryce, because I see these things now, and like I definitely
With the
have.
huge snack bar, like
Yeah, man, I have like
yeah.
I will like I
No,
would just not leave. Like I would be stuck there. And
I know.
especially cuz I think they do it after like 12 holes usually or whatever, right? So like it would be a mess. Like I would just eat like a bunch of chocolate. I would like go into a
Mhm.
coma and I would just be stuck there. But like I think that's what I would go for if I were to choose anything. It'd be like one of those candy houses for sure. You a
I
hot
usually
dog
don't
guy?
get anything at the turn just because, like, I watch Derek eat and that's enough for me. I'm more of like the person who likes to sneak in food like that. I'm definitely a big advocate of sneaking in your own food. Um, I know Derek always gets like a hot dog. I try to eat like so like I work in the running industry, so I have access to all these like cool little like snacks. My favorite ones are like the little honey stinger chews. They're basically fruit bites, but with like electrolytes and
They're
stuff in them.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're good. Those are what I like to just eat on at the course. Just keep it simple. That are like a granola bar. If I
Yeah.
had it my way, like a taco in a bag would be kind of neat at the turn.
A walking taco in a Doritos
Yeah.
bag. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
just keep it easy because then like think about it, you got the fork, you don't have to get dirty or anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To me, that's the ultimate turn food, right?
What about you, Brycer? What are you eating?
I'm a big hot dog guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm typically, if I'm getting food, it's just a hot dog
You
with
going
some
Dale
onion
Trail
and
just
mustard.
raw dogging it, or are you putting stuff on there? Or
No, onion and mustard.
yeah, okay, all right,
That's my two go-to on a golf course usually. If there's banana peppers, maybe I'll throw a couple on. I don't know.
yeah.
Depends on the day. Um, but yeah, I mean, just like 4 beers, 5 beers usually, and I'm good to go.
I'm a spicy
2, 4,
food guy.
5.
Yeah, I would want to like eat something spicy. It'd probably ruin my round, but or make it better. I don't know. I'm like I'm definitely like a new 9 guy or a bad 9. I don't know. Like if it's been good, it's gonna turn around. So very opposite from 9 to 9. Can't
Yeah,
play
I don't
18
ever
together.
think like that. I don't ever think that anything I do is going to change my round. You put me on the ice. You put me on the ice playing hockey. I think drinking the wrong water bottle will make me play bad. But in
Yeah.
golf, I just like don't really think about that stuff.
I don't know. I probably like should find a good like turn food to have or something because a lot of times I get to like 15, I'm just dying out there because I haven't eaten like all
Mm.
day or something. I go to work and then I come play golf and yeah, I don't know. But hot dogs like obviously the go-to, but taco at the turn would be pretty under like that'd be
Yeah, that'd
awesome,
be
man. Like
good.
to have just a nice like taco hut there. But I don't know. I feel like I'd be like getting too much spice into me, and who knows though. But
I mean, a brick oven pizza wouldn't be bad either.
it'd be pretty sweet. I feel like there's something that I know that I'll like hear and I'll be like, that is what I need on the golf course.
Yeah.
I'm like addicted to carbonated water and Mio, like Pellegrino and Mio.
Did
So
these things?
yeah. No.
Th-
Well, pretty much, right? Like
These are
I
good.
got like the peasant juice. Like I got this stuff
Mhm.
from Costco this time. So Pellegrino in the glass bottle is pretty much my go-to. Carrying that around the golf course, pricey and that
Yeah, it's a little
it's a little
weird.
bit. It's weird, man. It's weird,
All
but
right.
it's like
You do you.
it's kind of my thing. Like I guess if that's my vice, that's not so bad. Down
Yeah.
yeah, little cigar maybe after 9 or something. But yeah, I don't know. Food's
I'm
food, man. Like it's good stuff. It's just we need it, right?
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm actually a
hungry.
big fan of Noon. So if you've never used Noon, it's like little, like you put it in water, they dissolve, you get electrolytes, sodium, and
Yeah,
everything.
I've tried those
Yeah,
things.
no,
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Noon. I drink it almost every day.
that's sweet,
I like
man.
the
Like
high noons, you know.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had one though.
Oh, really? They're so
Yeah.
expensive, but they're good.
I'm not
Um,
really a seltzer guy. I'd rather
I
just have
probably,
a beer.
yeah, I agree. I probably sound like a raging alcoholic right now, but it's
yeah,
fine.
everything with Bryce is just about the
I'm
booze. I
not.
like it.
Not true.
That's what golf is.
That's what it's about, man. Like at our level, like it's just about drinking, like having a good time.
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even drinking. It's just going to have fun, like with your buddies, and
Yeah, lying about your handicap and playing money games. That's it.
yeah, and who really cares? You know. Well, money
Oh
games
yeah.
a little different, but
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really
Bryce.
have to lie about mine. People look at me and they go, "Oh yeah, you're not lying." And then there's Derek, who's like, "Yeah, I'm like an 8," and I'm like, "We know.
Yeah.
I've seen you." Yeah.
Oh, Bryce is solid. Bryce gets that down to a. Bryce plays like 20 rounds a year. He gets it to under a 2. I think it's just he
Mm.
doesn't play anymore. I think you get
I'll
it
get
there.
it down to a 2. But then towards the end of the season, it'll be like a 4. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm around.
Yeah, I can be a 3 or 33, man. You never know what they all show up at. It's
Mhm.
just how it is. It's just how it is, and I like to keep everybody guessing. But yeah, I get ripped off by this guy Corey at my club all the time. He's a cheater. He's probably not listening to this right now, but yeah, Mac here from Manscaped. The holiday season is fast approaching, and that means Santa is coming to visit. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Head over to manscaped.com, pick up a Lawnmower 4.0, and keep your jingle balls ready for the holidays. Using the promo code OTS Golf, you'll get 20% off plus free shipping. Santa will bring that right to your door. Manscaped.com, OTS Golf, 20% off plus free shipping. Enjoy the holidays. But how do you guys? Can we ask you how you guys got the page started? So you guys, SavePar Golf podcast, SavePar the Instagram page.
Mhm.
It's huge, man. Like we were kind of talking about it quickly, and we want to get into it because
Yeah.
that'd be tough, man.
So
Like that would be a lot to manage. That'd be like a full-time job.
yeah, so little known fact, we also have the Golfstagram. That's also us.
Okay.
So there's like a little network, and I really don't do anything but the podcast page. So I guess we have to go back to how Derek and I met. We met in college. We were both really bad at math. Shocker. So it's like a lower level math class. And I don't remember, but like we sat next to each other and he was like doing FanDuel stuff. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like betting on stuff. So I was like, cool. That's kind of how we met. We started kind of betting against each other, stuff like that. Um, and then we started playing golf. And how the podcast kind of came about was it was in 2019. It was like one of the last rounds we played together for the year. And he goes, "Hey, I have an idea." I was like, "Cool, I'm all ears. Let me hear it." He goes, "You talk a lot." I was like, "I do." And then he goes, "You also have a lot of opinions and you stand on those opinions." I was like, "Are you like insulting me right now, or where are we going with this?" I'm like, "I know I am opinionated." And he goes, "Well, why don't we start a podcast?" He goes, we at the time, I don't remember how many followers we had, but he's like, "I have a following. If we do this, we could do it right and then organically grow." Um, so then we launched it March of 20 with COVID and everything. Uh, and kind of here we are. SavePar itself, Derek tells it better. But from what I understand is it was originally, I don't want to say it was started by, but he was inspired by like his cousin who had a Duck Dynasty page,
Okay.
and that page like exploded. And I look like I would know everything about Duck Dynasty. I don't know shit about Duck Dynasty. Um,
You do look
and
like
from
the
there,
guy from Duck Dynasty, man. You I remember when that show first came out, I would watch it. Like I know nothing about like hunting or whatever. A few of my buddies go, I
yeah.
know Bryce goes. Um I think it'd be cool. Like I like but again, I know nothing about it. But if
Mhm.
you told me that you were on a golf podcast or you ran a Duck Dynasty page, I would go with Duck Dynasty page.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to
So
us on Spotify, Apple, any of those other ones, go to YouTube and like, yeah, this could be a Duck Dynasty podcast by the end of it. I don't know. Bryce could
so
take over.
Yeah. I just need a beard, but
so Derek was inspired by his cousin's page, and Derek wanted to kind of grow the game, kind of get some product along the way. And since then, it's exploded. We just hit 120,000, which is like he's very humble about it. But I'm like, Derek, that's a ton of people, right?
Yeah,
Like,
big.
I don't like that's a ton. Like, I remember when we hit 500 on the podcast, I was freaking out. Like, and now we're at almost 1,000.
yeah,
Which I was like, if you would have told me that we'd be super consistent with it and we'd be at almost 1,000 followers 2 years in, I don't think I would have believed you. But we're on such a ride right now that's so much fun. Um, but yeah, that's like the easy version of it. I wish Derek was here because he tells a little bit better because it's
yeah.
like his baby. He's
S-
probably posting right now though.
So what's the main like I guess idea for the content? Like, he picked it up from like obviously like a platform that was not golf related. So you guys were both like really into golf and that's why you thought about starting it up?
Yeah, so with the podcast, we just wanted to show people like you don't have to be jacked like Bryson or big and athletic like Brooks or Dustin Johnson, for example. They all look like golfers, right? Derek looks like a golfer.
Right.
No, not so much me. We wanted to show people that if you like golf or you're interested in golf, you can go play golf. Like to me, it's one of the most easily accessible sports probably out there, right? Other than like tennis or baseball.
You think so? It's one of the
I think so.
easily, I don't know, man. Like
Well, if you think about it like this, right? Y- I mean,
it's easy, like, okay,
baseball.
so it's easy to
So
grab a
to me,
club
I
and like
grew.
go play. Yeah, I get that aspect. Like it's easy to
Yeah.
go grab a
So like
club and
I
go hit a
grew up.
ball and like yeah,
Yeah. Like I grew up playing baseball, right? I was a catcher. I had the catcher stuff.
right.
Well, I didn't. I would borrow it. I had bats. I had cleats. You have the uniform. It all costs money, right? And then you have to be on an organized team. There's all these additional fees. Like Bryce with hockey, there's ice time. There's all this other stuff, right?
Mhm.
My whole family plays hockey, and then there's me. No, I could not stop on skates. Um, Golf, you don't really need any of that. You can have a field, a stick, and a ball, and
Yeah.
boom, you're in. To me, that's super easily accessible. I know once you get to a certain level, you're spending $1,000 on a driver or $1,500 on irons, whatever. But there are other brands that we've also included that make it super affordable and accessible.
Definitely, like I know you guys were like you guys have a connection with Odin who we've had on before, and like we've probably talked to, I don't know, what, 25 brands or something like that, Bryce, now.
Mhm.
Maybe even more. But look, I don't know if I'm gonna say golf's all that accessible, to be honest. Like I think it's a sport that yeah, that still kind of working towards making it more accessible for people. And we're talking about like
Uh-huh.
the increases in prices and stuff like that in this game, and like,
$60 around,
yeah,
40 to
man,
50 bucks a box of balls, $1,000 driver,
yeah.
$1,800 irons. Like, I mean, I know you can go like thrifting for clubs and have these old clubs, but I mean, you're still paying 50, $60 to get on a golf course.
I think there's still some courses out there where you can get out, like municipal courses, and get out there for like, you know, $30 and kind of go out with your buddies and have a good time and stuff like that. And that's, you know, it's great. Like I love that that's available for people, and like I do it too. Like I'll go out with my buddies and stuff and might not golf all that regularly. I just, I think like the prices are getting a little crazy. So like we're just in it for like the gear. We're just looking for like to sell out for a club deal, Bryce and I. So
Yeah.
if anybody, no, I'm just kidding. If anybody's listening though, like hit us up, Strix on me, or like no big deal. Any Kioi, hopefully I pronounced that right because those things look sick. But I just think
You
it's
get a
like,
Mira deal.
yeah, yeah,
I want in.
yeah.
Like,
There's what, one guy on the planet now who's got them, like Justin Rose, Adam Scott, two guys, and yeah, we're both not that good looking. So, but
No.
yeah, I think it's yeah, it is. It's like it's accessible to get into, to get some used clubs, some like used golf balls, whatever it is, and you know, be able to get out there and kind of swing it at the driving range. But the game is getting like so expensive to play though. It's getting like, I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So it's hard to say. I think it's hard to say it's accessible for people to get in and like achieve any success. It would take a lot to achieve success in golf. And when I say a lot, I think it would like a lot of money. Like it would take a lot of money to
Right.
achieve
That's what I
success.
think. Other
Yeah.
than the money, like I think it's totally accessible to everyone. I just
Yeah.
think the money's a pretty big factor.
All right, Bogey Bets presented by our friends over at BetStamp. We're at the Hero World Challenge this week, and you can go over to the App Store, download the BetStamp app, shop all the best lines across all your favorite sports betting platforms, and the guys over at BetStamp are going to send you your minimum deposits back, and you can play for free. All right, first one we got up this week is Matt Fitzpatrick. He's just steady all the time. Matt Fitzpatrick is always near the top, never gets too high, never gets too low, although he did win the US Open, right? So we found him over at ScoreBet, plus 1,400, which was pretty good. It started at most places, DK, PointsBet, everything around plus 1,200. So good value there at ScoreBet for plus 1,400. We locked that one in. Moving down to our top 5 pick, we're going to take Max Homa. Pretty much floating around plus 300 at most spots. ScoreBet, Bet365, BetMGM has him for plus 360 for a top 5. I think that is really solid in this smaller field. And then we're going to drop it down for Billy Ho. Really solid all the time. Another guy who's just a top 10 machine, absolute top 10 machine. This one actually fluctuated quite a bit. We had him in some minus odds. We found him over at Bet365 for plus 183 for a top 10 in the smaller condensed field. That's a great line for Billy Ho. So we locked that one in. Fun bet, plus 10,000. You know, for somebody to get a hole in one. Matt Fitzpatrick did it in the Hero World Challenge, kind of like pro event. They were all just kind of playing or whatever, hitting balls over the water, and Matt Fitzpatrick dunked one. So we think, hey, it's an omen. He's got to do one in the event, right? So plus 10,000, why not drop a couple of bucks on it? Head over to BetStamp using the registration code OTS Golf, and they're going to hook you up with all of your minimum deposits for whatever sports books that you like to shop, and you can shop the best possible line using BetStamp. Compares all the best odds across all of your favorite sports betting platforms. Bet responsibly. We'll see you next week.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Plus, man, I lived in in the only part in the world through like the pandemic where they shut golf courses down. It was so bizarre. We talked about that I think a couple weeks ago, Bryce and I kind of forgot about it. It was only like 2 months, but they shut the golf courses down. We couldn't go outside and play. It was so strange, man. So strange not being able. I was on the golf course on the Friday they did it. They like released it, and I was just like, "What do you mean? Like I can't come back and play golf? Like this is such a strange thing." So, yeah, I was talking with that with the guy at work too. So, but you know,
Yeah.
it's you know, you're right. You're right. Like I'm not saying you're wrong. Like I think there's like a level of introduction to the game where a lot of people can play and play for cheap. I just think it's hard to like get past that point of like, you know, if you want to become competitive with it, it takes a lot of money to get to that level, right? So maybe that's just coming from me losing money in money games. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah, we just wanted to show people like, hey, if you're interested, go
Yeah,
out,
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
play, do it. Yeah, like you're
that's like a
absolutely
good
right.
because I
I
look at
totally agree with that.
what are they
Totally
called,
agree.
Muni Kids or whatever, like they got
Yeah,
a really
Muni.
Oh
yeah
yeah.
they got like such a cool Instagram page where like they'll just be playing in like an alley, right? And like
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the game that I like being able to show that like you can just grab a club, go out there and have some fun, hit a ball around and stuff like that. That's still golf, right? I just think when we're talking about trying to get like grow the game where kids are trying to play it, like it's it's hard, man. It's not that accessible to get like into a club to play regularly, to get a teacher or an instructor, and get new clubs, because technology does matter in the game, whether we like it to or not. It does, like it's plays a big part. So I think it's just that part. Now we're talking like $800 drivers and stuff like that. So
Crazy.
yeah. So thank you to the nice
Manufacturer.
fella who got Bryce and I drivers. So thank you to that guy, the
Must be
nameless
nice.
guy. So, but yeah, other than that, it's like crazy, man. Like it's nuts. I'd be probably playing I don't know, Nike Sasquatch or something like that.
I'll be
from a few
playing
years ago.
XR16 Callaway.
Yeah,
Bad
probably.
last.
Yeah, probably. Why not, right? So, but it's
I mean, I'm still playing my irons from 10, 12 years ago. I mean, probably
Yeah.
have them for forever.
I got Shrixon Z785, so it's hard to get rid of those. There's
Yeah.
only been one issue released since then, so Shrixons are great irons and people can get a hold of them. But what's it like? So, and like Derek posts something and
Mhm.
like you get a bunch of views. Like, what's it like? You go into that, like his phone must just kind of go crazy, huh?
Yeah, he'll like. I was like, dude, you gotta like put your phone down at some point. Like he'll put it down and walk away. Um, Luckily, I don't have any access to his account, and I don't remember the password to the podcast account, so he has zero access to mine. That's kind of the beauty of it. I watched his phone just like freak out for like 15 minutes. I was like, that's unreal. I think that's also kind of the beauty of social media, though, is the outreach you can get, and
Right.
like if you have your profile set to like a business profile or whatever now, you can see how many accounts or how much outreach you get per week or whatever now. And I don't even want to look at see what his account views are or whatever like that. To me, that's just like anxiety waiting to happen.
No, I'm just trying to look through because there was that one Bryce we were saying. What you said had 340K,
Yeah, for ours.
and like
Yeah.
one night it went nuts, and it's just
Like nuts, like 200K in a night. And I woke
Yeah.
up the next morning. I was like, holy.
man. But you got
Derek's had
like
a few that are like over 1 or 2 million.
yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
at one here, 812K. This guy playing golf outside, like that'd be wild, man. Just like waking up to something like that would be absolutely insane. Like when I woke up and it had something that like my phone was like full. It had like I don't know a few hundred notifications and stuff, right? But I don't know. It just feels like that's crazy. Like it's crazy to kind of get into that algorithm or figure that part out. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not really our niche. We've done it a couple times, but we were talking about getting nerfed a couple times and getting shadow banned. And you were saying yours got shadow banned.
I think we still are, to be honest with you guys. Like,
What'd you do? Do you remember?
um, no, I wish I knew. Um, like that's why, like, if you follow us on the podcast page, I only post like 2 or 3 times a week, and it's all podcast related stuff at this point. Originally when we were trying to grow it and then start doing pods, we were kind of doing the same thing that SavePar did, right? Where it's more memes, funny videos, kind of informational stuff. And then all of a sudden it just stopped working.
Right.
And we're just like, we're stagnant. And it's like, what did I do? What did I break? Who did I make mad? And then it's just like, I guess it's just like a random hashtag kind of completely throw you off the map.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think how many phone screens that comes across too. Like it's
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah. 340,000 people watching Bryce rip a drive into the woods.
Yeah.
Man, it's yeah, I know one guy was like, that's way left, and I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, of course it is, man. Like, but
No,
was-
the one time you said I cut the corner.
oh yeah, I think
Remember
I was like,
the guy argued it.
I was like messing with somebody. It's like, oh no, cut the corner. I'm like, I've posted the actual real video, like 3 reels down if you go down and watch it. But I don't know, man. I'm a little jaded because I was saying like I got one out there with a couple 100,000 views. I think of me swinging a golf, like beautiful golf hole out into Lake Ontario, and then the very next hole I made a hole in one. So it's tough. It's tough. So that's like I don't know, something that I just like really wish I would have given that up. I would have given up a couple 100,000 views to even just have like a personal video making a hole in one would be
For
sweet. But
sure.
just kind of change everything with the I don't know, nobody believes me too, so why not?
There have been a couple times where Derek's like, Dom, go open swing and hit the ball. And like we're doing it like for a video or whatever. And then like I go up and it's bad. He goes, oh no, you're okay. I'm like, Derek, I'm like 40 yards in the woods. Like this is not good. And then like the next hole after he puts it away, I'm like dancing on the green. And you're just like,
Yeah.
dude, like I hate this game. And then you put it in for bogey or for birdie or whatever. And you're like, okay, I love it. I'm back. Like let's do
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah, it's like it's such an infectious
Roller
sport.
coaster.
I'm like really positive like that. Bryce is not a negative guy, but Bryce like tries to tell me like tone it down because I think every shot's good. When I'm like, I think it's got a chance to go in. I'm like, I think it's in, and like he
My
almost ran it.
brother's twice as bad as me too.
Yeah. Well, he
Sorry to cut you off.
no. Well, the thing is, like, usually when I'm saying it is when Blake is hitting the shots, right? So he almost had 2 hole-in-ones in one round when we played. So one of them within like I don't know 10 inches or something to start a round. So it was pretty cool. But that's kind of the hunt for us, man. That's how like if we're gonna tell a story of like how we got started with the pod, it was like I kind of got it started up just like start of COVID, really, like when things, or just before, I think, like just before it kind of started up, like golf season ended, and it was kind of just like, I don't know,
Yeah. What do I do?
sad time. What do we do? No more golf up here, and we're like, I'm in the Toronto area, so we're all in pretty similar weather, like, and yeah, it kind of just started up, and then Brycer jumped on a couple months later, and we've been going ever since. So our focus is trying to connect. There's a million and one podcasts out there that like will interview like PJ Tour players and stuff like that. Like there's all of those like foreplay. All those podcasts are great. Everybody's got their like subpar. They all have like their niche and stuff. So we've kind of found a good spot where we try to rotate in like a club builder. So we mentioned Custom Clubs who got us shadow banned. So resharing his stuff
Thanks,
is what.
Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. That's what got us shadow banned when that happened, and I didn't believe him, and then it happened. Like resharing his stuff made it happen. So usually we'll get in like a club builder, have some of the guys on from TXG or something like that. Somebody who's kind of like in the space in that sense. We'll get like a PGA Tour Canada Pro or LPGA Girl, Epson Tour, that kind of thing. We're kind of like looking to kind of get them out. We had Lauren Zaretsky on. She's the 2020 or 2021 Canadian Women's Am Champ, and then she went on to play in her LPGA debut and made an ace in that LPGA debut, which is awesome. So
That's cool.
made the cut, and like she's down at Texas Tech right now, so she's just young. She's like 16 or 17, man. So that's like 18, something like that. That's wild. Like good for her. But yeah, so we'll mix in like a pro or something like that, and then a golf brand or something, right? So usually try and give a bit of a platform for that, and yeah, it's been fun, man. Like we've been able to connect with 109 different people now, or pretty close to. We've had a couple repeat guests on, and it's fun, a lot of fun, man.
We've also got a lot of college guys too, and girls.
Yep.
A lot of college athletes that come on and kind of tell their story. And we love our pros, but the college is cool because like they talk about getting recruited and kind of going through school, and then we'll kind of get them on again in the future, and they'll just talk about how they graduated into turning pro, and we get to walk through the whole scenario, and it's really cool to hear some different stories come through.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah, we
shouldn't group those two together. Sorry, Dom. I shouldn't group those two together because they're similar but very different. If that makes any sense, it's like similar in skill level, but very very different lifestyles. We've had a couple pros on who are like doing quite well, like pretty successful, like and then like you see some of like the college guys who are just like grinding, right? And it's pretty cool to like hear those stories and like trying to get into that like next tournament and stuff like that might be like down on the depth chart on their team or whatever it is, or it's just so competitive that they're grinding, right? So it's pretty cool.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
We had Alex Romo on right before he went to Q school. Right? Q school? Yeah, it sounds right. So we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got it. Yeah.
Sweet, yeah. That he was talking about that whole thing is just a grind. And it's like it's something that I don't think a lot of fans would like really know about without, a platform or a podcast, for example. Because he had to fly out to Italy and he has to do all these different things just to try to make it onto the I'm blanking on what's right under the
Lit-
PGA, right to get right under the Corn Ferry, and you're like, man, if you got to grind that hard to get on the Corn Ferry, I can't even imagine how hard it is to get onto PGA.
Mhm.
The whole thing is wild, and it's so cool to hear about. And then, when they make it, you almost feel like a sense of accomplishment for them, which is super cool. So I'm waiting on Alex to take that leap and be like, hey man, like good job, congrats. Always rooting for him, but it's just something that you never would get to see as like a normal fan.
Yeah, my childhood buddy, actually we've had him on the pod a couple times, Zach Viminance. He just qualified for Latino America. He got his card, and
Oh, cool.
he's been doing pretty well. So good to see him have some success.
Yeah, I don't want to like get into naming everybody, but
Yeah.
we've got well, like I said, probably I would say somewhere between 30 to 40 of our guests have been pros or aspiring pros, right? So that's
Mhm.
kind of been, the idea is that they kind of go on and like a couple of girls played on the LPGA and some might be at school now or, PGA Tour Canada. A couple of that we made friends with, I've actually caddied for playing PGA Tour Canada, which is really cool. Zach's on PGA Tour LA, like, um, Paul Parker's on PGA Tour LA. Ziggy was on PGA Tour LA. So
Mhm.
it's pretty cool, man. And then a lot of those guys play PGA Tour Canada, right? So, as you see those guys progress, move on through different Q schools, try to get like Corn Ferry status, and hopefully on the PGA Tour is, it's really cool, right? It's kind of cool to have a sweat and be able to see them grow and
Hmm.
lose some money betting on them, but make it fun anyway, right? So
Yeah, one of my favorite accounts right now. We had them on a couple months ago now. It's Vibes Golf Club. It's with Melvin Gordon, uh, Dare, and a couple other football players, and then Noe, who kind of met them all at University of Wisconsin. And it's cool to see, a guy like Melvin Gordon, NFL running back. He actually just got cut by the Broncos, which sucks because I mean I've been a fan of him since he was in San Diego. It's cool to see them take that transition, and the whole page is just fun. Like they're these grown ass men, football players, whatever, hitting golf balls, having a blast, and that watching them grow has been super fun too. Because I think they have a bigger page than us, but that episode did amazing, and seeing them grow, seeing them have more fun with the game than ever, and just kind of watching them live is super cool. So that's something that I don't ever want to take for granted is having these guests on,
Mhm.
continuing to watch them grow and then seeing where they go because I think that's really fun and that's something that again, your average viewer won't get to see.
it's like
So it's kind of
It's
it's
like
yeah, it's so
it's
sorry,
like the
Bryce.
behind the scenes type of
Yeah.
stuff.
I was gonna say it's like so strange. You have on like some guests and like obviously if they're like that's a big group and whatnot, and you'll have a lot of views. Like we've had Mac Boucher on that. That one has like I haven't looked at it in a while, probably has like 20,000 downloads or something like that. But like
Mhm.
that guy is like, everybody kind of eats up his his content and whatnot. But like when we had custom clubs on, I remember sending him a screenshot of how many views it had in like the first week and he was like, "Oh, because we posted on YouTube, but I don't know how YouTube works, man. I don't post anything. I don't put it in standard or high definition, anything like that. It's all standard definition. And I know, like, to
Mhm.
boot it into the algorithm, you got to like post it in 1080 or 4K or whatever it is. There's multiple different things that kind of work on that, thumbnails, titles, all that kind of other stuff. We just kind of post it up for now and hope for the best. And yeah, it's kind of cool like how some of those will pick up and like it shows like so many people have like an organic following and we've posted other ones and you're like damn, like I really thought that that was a great interview or like a great like guest and stuff like that, and then maybe it just doesn't do exactly how you wanted. But you mentioned like Melvin Gordon and stuff like that, like seeing those like big guys hitting golf balls. I've touted us to have the biggest the most muscular guest, most muscular golfer in the world as a guest, and his
Mhm.
name's Sean Lindo. It's pretty cool. So he's like, I don't know, 290-pound, 300-pound IFBB pro bodybuilder, and he moves it. He
Jesus.
does, man, he does okay. Like he I think he said he had shot a 90 or 92 or something. So
Hmm.
he really cool guy too, and he's kind of starting up like a golf page and a clothing line called Black Muscle Golf and stuff like that. So it's like,
Cool.
man, it's so cool to like see a guy that big. I had a bodybuilding pass as well, but see a guy that big be able to kind of move it and play golf is and just getting into the game too is a lot of fun, man. So it's like cool when you get the most random guests, right? And then
Mhm.
all of their friends and stuff want to listen to it. And it's cool, man. It's really cool to be able to contact just I don't know, random people and talk about the game. But sorry, Bryce, I cut
Yeah.
you off, man.
No, I was just gonna kind of go the opposite route of that conversation and say it's crazy how many pro athletes get into golf after their careers.
Yeah,
It's just it's it's got to be a high percentage, I would assume, in professional sports. It's just cool to see how many people love this game, and that's another reason why we do this pod. Is just there's excuse me, there's so many good people in this game, and everyone loves to chat about golf. So and we
Well,
enjoy.
it's amazing how you can learn from everybody, right? Like at when we were still kind of well, I mean, it's not a super old pod by any means, but like pretty early on, we had Brilliantly Dumb on, and he was talking about how he was playing with the guys from Entourage, and I was like, man, love that show. That's probably like the most fun group you could probably ever have is like Kevin Connolly and all them. Uh, and he was saying how a lot of times, like in the show, they had a golf scene with Tom Brady and Mark Wahlberg, and he said that it's just like that with them. And that's not something that I would have been like, oh yeah, that's just acting. And he's like, no, like that's pretty spot on with how these actors play. So it just kind of makes you wonder how many people play golf and like don't say it because of, maybe
yeah.
they have had scenes like that or
Mhm.
because if I remember right in the scene, um, Johnny Drama breaks Tom Brady's driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't know if any of that stuff like really happens for real, but I think people shy away from talking about golf when they're like really talented actors and like they might be an actor or a professional sport. It's like nobody's like Steph Curry going out there and like playing plus,
Yeah.
right? Like there's just
True.
not too many of those guys out there. So I think that's part of it, right? Golf can be incredibly humbling. You go out there and like it just beats you up, and you're so good. Like say Tom Brady's not a bad golfer, but there's so many players like people out there who are like, it's the best quarterback of all time or one of the best football players of all time, and then goes out and
Mhm.
gets kind of beaten up by a little white golf ball trying to hit it around the course, right? So it's maybe that's a bit of the reason why not too many people talk about it. But we had a guy on David Byrne. He's played PGA Tour Canada and stuff like that. He's up here in Windsor now, and he was saying that he used a caddy at Bel Air, and he had dropped a couple of names. Like he played with
Big
Ricky,
names.
yeah, like Steph Curry, Ricky Fowler, and he
Bubba
played with Bubba. He carried for Bubba. So, and there were a
and the
few other,
G4 owner.
yeah, the guy who owns G4 and stuff like that. He got connected with them, so it's kind of cool. Like that would be a pretty, I don't know, surreal world to get involved with. I think it would be a lot of fun, man. Like just to, I don't know, kind of get in and like learn how that life goes, and then see people be humbled, man. I think I could
Mhm.
beat a lot of pro athletes in the game of golf, and I know Brycer definitely could too. So it'd be fun to kind of find an equal playing field, and I think golf can be one of them, right? So it's yeah, it's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game, but I know Brycer's got to take off here in a couple minutes, Dom. But we definitely wanted to learn a little bit more about like SavePar and how you guys got kind of involved in it and stuff. And we should do this again, man. I think it'd be pretty fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, SavePar in of itself is a community. That's how I view it, whether it's the
Yeah,
podcast, the SavePar page, the Golfstagram page, which I'm pretty sure is dead, but nobody wants to admit it. Um, it's all for fun. Like, you know, you were saying you talk to hundreds of people in a week. I don't talk to that many people, but the people that we do talk to, it's always a positive interaction. And that's
Mhm.
yeah,
really all I go for at the end of the day is it's got to be positive, and it doesn't have to be like anything serious, but like it's nice to know that people like what we're doing.
Yeah,
And,
for
you
sure.
guys came very highly recommended from obviously Alvin and Chris and, some other guys, but
thanks, Alvin. Yeah,
Mhm.
Alvin's a sweetheart,
what
man. That's
I
your
love
typical
Alvin.
Canadian guy, right? Like, no, but it's true, man. With us, we've always like just kind of connected with anybody. It doesn't matter. Like we'll
Hmm.
just talk golf with like anybody. We want we just want to kind of connect with the community, and that's sort of how the podcast has grown and kind of been there, right? So Bryce and I found out like very early about like I talked about that niche with like, it'd be cool to have like, you know, Tiger Woods on the pod. I'm just kidding. I would totally sell out and have Tiger Woods on the pod, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be cool to have like Bez or something on the podcast and stuff like that. But you can go listen to those guys like anywhere else you want, right? So there's so many like he finished third last week at the Joburg Open. He was my pick. I was like, how does he not win the Joburg Open? Christian Zen and Hoot or whatever. So I'm a little jaded. So I actually put some money down on that. So, but yeah, like there's so many pods that do that already. So it's kind of cool for us to be able to like, you know, meet people that are like as passionate about the game as we are, right? So we're not the best golfers in the world. Bryce and I are both very good by most standards, but there's so many that are better than us that we can learn from, and so many that are worse than us that we can learn from. So it's kind of cool to like learn about different spots in the community. People have kind of got in and like, you know, might be doing head covers and stuff. That's been like some of our most fascinating episodes, eh, Bryce? Like guys that are doing like covers and stuff like that. It's like it's really cool, man. So there's always just so many avenues and whatnot, and just fun to kind of, I don't know, connect with as many people as you possibly can, kind of like we're doing here. This is sort of cool to talk to another podcaster. It's definitely
Different.
new for us. Yeah. Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, this is normally where Derek chimes in because I'm always at like a loss for words at a certain point.
Derek.
No, I think some of my favorite episodes are like the ones where I'm like, you know, like sure. And then I'm always like blown away by it. One of my favorite more recent one is actually Los Golferos, and they make serape towels, and it's like the Mexican blanket,
Yeah.
but they're golf towels.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
they sent us a couple, and they are so cool. And it was one of those things where I went in, I'm like, okay, the guys are cool, you know, but how long is this gonna be? And we could have easily sat there for like 4 hours, and like,
Yeah.
super organic. Those guys are great. Their products are even cooler. Like some of those are like my favorite ones to do, and then some of them that we're super pumped on, I'm like, that didn't go very well.
Well, it's
Yeah,
always
we
too.
had
Like, go ahead,
that's
Bryce.
like the Tyler Lowy episode when he started telling us that he hand mills them from scratch. Like we were kind of just both sitting there like that. Like I think I
Yeah.
drooled at one point just because I was like so astonished and like I was like,
Well,
wow,
because
like, I didn't know what to say.
like we've had some of the best putter builders on the. I think we've had the best putter builders on in the world. Like we've had a few of them, like Brandon Matthew, and
Mac made.
Hosey Mack, Josie Mack from Mac Made, and Tyler Lowy. Like those are three of the best putter builders in the world. And when Tyler was like, "Oh yeah, like I hand mill those," we were just kind of jaw dropping. We were like, "What the hell are you talking about? Like how long does that take?" And he like took us through the process, and then man, like again, like we kind of I went and checked. I think he asked me how it was doing, and we were like a couple days later, and we had a couple thousand downloads on it, like a couple thousand audio downloads, and we were like, yeah, man, people are like really into it, and it's obviously kind of finding its way around the golf community space and stuff like that. And I know that he's got a few putters. People have gone on and ordered a few putters from him, so it's kind of nice to hear that too, because that's kind of the goal, right? To connect as many people and keep things going in the community, right? So
We just had Mark from Kraken on, and
they
that
make
whole
cool
episode,
stuff. Yeah, they make really
oh
cool
dude,
stuff, man.
his stuff is crazy. He sent us a couple as like a thank you and everything.
Yeah.
He sent me pictures, you know, he lasered our logo on. I was like, cool, this thing is sweet. I thought it was gonna be like stainless steel and metal, or stainless steel and like a leather inlay. And we're talking, he goes, no, it's stainless steel. And then he or I shouldn't say hand cuts it, but he puts it into a program, and then he hand glues pieces of wood into these little lightning bolts.
Nice.
And the whole time I was sitting there just like, I don't even know what to say, but I hope Derek says something because this
Yeah.
is like, my mind was just like blown.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. He's like, yeah, I got lasers, I got CNC machines. As I'm sitting there with my laptop and a microphone. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like such a surreal feeling, especially since I've been a fan of him since before I even had like a golf account. Like, it was just like oogling and ogling over it. And
Yeah. They got
to me, that
they
was
got like that little crayon tool. Like they were like they did like the crayon tool
Yeah,
like
I've seen
earlier.
that.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Man.
so
So cool.
during the episode, I was like, man, I've been waiting for a purple one to restock because purple's my favorite color.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, one showed up at my door. I was like,
Nice.
this thing is sweet. And the
That's
crayons
sweet,
are pretty
man.
dope. We did a giveaway for one, and that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're cool. Like they're one of my favorite looking tools. Like I got one from our friend Custom Clubs. It's hard to beat that. It's like a little prison shank. It's it's really hard to beat that thing.
So,
It's
so what the
it's cool.
crayon is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like those things are I don't know, it's cool. You pull those out and they're a conversation piece, right? It's really nice to kind of, and then you can go back and be like, "Oh yeah, like we talked to him on the podcast and stuff like that," and go follow
I'm
the
almost
pod.
afraid to
Yeah.
use it because I'm like, man, this thing's like a piece of art. But then I'm like, well, if I don't use it, then like it sits around and collects dust.
You got to use it,
So
man.
it's
You got to use it.
oh,
You've been doing it
when
in
there's not
injustice, leaving it in the bag. You got to use it.
Oh, when it's not snowing, I'll have to use it.
Yeah,
there
for
you go.
sure. I know that too, but yeah. All right, Brycer. I know you got to go
Yeah,
go
I gotta
play some
take
hockey.
off.
So that's another thing. We could sit here and talk for 3-4 hours about
Yeah.
hockey with Bryce. So if you're a hockey pod, we'll get Brycer on there and he can tell you about getting looking bad at playing against Connor McDavid and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So before you leave, my boss is Canadian, and this was last season, and I think at the time, so like obviously I'm from Minnesota, we have Kaprizov,
Yeah.
and at the time we were in like a meeting, and I was like, dude, like Kaprizov's better than McDavid. I'm well aware McDavid is the second coming of Gretzky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm well aware, right? I know he's like McJesus. I know that. That man full on yelled at me in the meeting. I was like,
That's
dude,
funny.
like it's not that serious. But at the time, I think they were like tied for points.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I actually play with Ryan Hartman. I know he's hurt right now, but he's
Mm.
a big part of that team too.
Yeah, he had a year last year, man.
He's good, man.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah,
He's
a
a
good
skill
kid.
guy, but he'll fight anyone on the ice.
Yeah,
But-
he's solid, man. He's my kind of guy. That's my kind
Yeah,
of
he's good,
that's my
but-
kind of player.
Yeah.
But Dom, man,
Um,
let's do this again. Let's get Derek and let's pick a time in the spring or something when we start teeing it up a little bit more and let's play it again. Let's just kind of run it back, play, and maybe we'll get Alvin on here too, and he can tell us what's going on in his world, and we can make it just a big community pod. It'll be a lot of fun.
We've actually kind of toyed with the idea of doing like a live stream type thing.
and just having people
Uh,
come in.
Yes, but like we wanted to like put it on Twitch and play like play like 2K or whatever, like the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
PGA.
Yeah.
Don't know how any of that works, but like that's something I've been kind of looking into. I think that'd be fun to have like Derek and I trying to play like on the super high level and then just like have guests come in through it because we've
Yeah, that'd
had
be cool.
somebody mentioned it. Oh, it was Luke from the last episode. Was like, man, that's what you guys should do. And I've gotten a couple messages about it. So
Yeah.
it's something that I would kind of want to try to do.
I've done that,
Mm.
man. I've got a little secret Twitch background. Never told anybody about, but I know how to do that. I could help you guys out with that. It's pretty
All
pretty
right,
cool.
boys. I gotta take off.
All right, Brycer, enjoy the game, man.
Yeah.
Dom,
Nice meeting
thank
you,
you so
Dom.
much,
you.
man. This was great.
He's out in my ball in the course where I tee up. I lose the ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross, worst case scenario.